Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial, and today is the day that I'm always going to consider as when the Drydock project actually started. Today is January 5th, 2024, and today we had a bunch of different contractors on board to look at various aspects of the project and a bunch of volunteers to help out. And today's the day it's really starting to feel real for me that we're going into the Drydock. We're going into the Drydock soon. So, just a sampling of the projects that we're doing. As early as next week, weather dependent, potentially even before this video airs, we're going to be removing the mast and the radar antenna. So, some of our volunteers came out today and de-wired the antenna so it doesn't spin anymore, and they took off some of the radio antennas that were on the mast and rigged a new aviation warning light, because when the mast gets decapitated, there goes our aviation warning light. So we've got another one on there for while we're topless. So while that work was going on 13 stories above the main deck, we also had the contractors on board today looking at ballasting the ship. I've mentioned it before, but we sit about 10 feet out of trim. The bow is significantly higher than the stern. We're about 34 feet at the stern, about 23 and a half feet at the bow. And we have to get within 4.81 feet. We're now about 10.5 feet. So we've got to get to 4.81 feet to sit on the blocks that we're going to sit on in Drydock, or else all this stuff back here gets crushed by all that weight. So we've got to go down relatively level as opposed to right on that stern stuff. So myself and the contractors who were going to have help us with that project climbed down all the way into the peak tank 7 stories below the main deck, and then back up and then back down 7 stories into each of the 18 tanks that we're probably going to have to flood. That's going to put loosely 500,000 gallons into the ship, which is approximately 2,000 tons, which will bring us back to trim. So we're finally far enough along in the project that we've got all of that calculated. We've got the folks picked out who are going to do that. Like I said, the mast is coming off within a week of us filming this video. We had a meeting today with the paint reps. So we're starting to look at the specifics for the system of coatings, so much so that we're talking about what temperature does it have to be applied at, what kind of surface prep work does it need, is it SP6, is it like something else, what do we have to do with this particular system of coatings. So we're moving along with that. The bottom of the ship will likely end up gray at the end of the process. That is the color of the top coat with these coatings. We're not going to pay for a red anti-fouling paint because that's too expensive. So she will likely be gray with a black boot top, and then, of course, the gray freeboard. We had the engineer from the shipyard on board, and he was going through our blueprints and some of our other documents to help with some of his calculations as he's preparing our blocking plan. And along with him, our volunteer John Mianos, the author of the book and our resident expert on blueprints, sat down and helped him go through what we have, because quite frankly, John knows our blueprint collection much better than I do. If you don't have a copy of his book yet, link in the description to that. His books, plural. And we finished the day with a talk with our marketing company that is going to come out and film when we remove the mast, possibly 3 days from now. So things are really starting to move, and we are literally counting the weeks until the earliest possible yard date. We still don't have an exact date. There are still 2 ships ahead of us, and either one of those could be delayed before we go in. But I'm starting to transition out of my sweater and collared shirt and get back into my Ryan costume for actually working around here. And quite frankly, it's all very exciting. Originally, we had counted day one as the date when we announced that we had the money from the state way back in August. But then, honestly, we've had some meetings about it, sure, but it hasn't been life-encompassing. From today on, my main job is going to be working on Drydock prep work for the next several months. So I really feel like today is the day that it starts. And since I'm the historian who's going to write the report on this, January 5th is the day I'm going to write as the starting date. What do you guys think? What would you call the start of the project? When we actually made the announcement and started doing work on this, several years before that when we started the preliminary discussions, today when we're starting some of the prep work, or the day she actually is towed? Let us know in the comment section down below. Now that this is a reality, it is more important than ever that we get the money we need to do this project. So if you've been sitting on the fence waiting to see if things are going to move forward or not, trains left the station. We are moving forward very quickly now, and we sure could use your support. Those of you who have supported, I am absolutely blown away by the amount you guys have donated so far. We really appreciate it. There's a link down in the description if you'd like to donate. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. Really appreciate your support. And you can also support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing so more people find out about the channel, the museum, and this ongoing project. Thanks for watching.